All right, well, hey there, and hope you're doing well. This video is focused on the recording studio and just showing you every possible thing that you could be doing or questions you might have. Hopefully this will answer all of those so that when you go to record, you just know what to do. The first things that you see when you come to the recording studio is you're gonna go from typically your ideation lab into the recording studio, and you'll see ideas that you approved within the ideation lab. And those approved ideas will be here on your sidebar. If you have a smaller laptop screen, you might see it might be collapsed to start and you have to expand it, and you can just quickly and easily use that arrow to collapse or expand your idea tab. The next thing you'll see is buttons to go back to the ideation lab or forward to the content library. Those are pretty much the logical things that you would do from here. The next buttons here are your short form, which is vertical, and your long form, which is horizontal. And basically the difference between short form and long form, right, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just typically when you're doing short form videos, these are going for platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, versus when you're doing long form, oftentimes most of the time, this is going to be your YouTube videos, which are anywhere from 4 to 10 minutes long. And so I wanted to make it so that you guys have access to both, and you don't have to feel like you're just a short form creator or just a long form creator. But the ideal situation is you're creating for all platforms, and especially YouTube is super valuable to build an audience on because you're doing longer videos typically on YouTube, and so people are giving you more of their attention versus short form. It's really valuable in order to grow an audience and quick to grow, but it's a little bit less of an intention investment on the consumer side, right? So the one other mode you'll see up here is dual. And what this is this is just basically recording for long form, but being able to you'll see this small box outline right here, and you'll see yourself in the corner, being able to see while you're recording for long form what it's gonna look like on short form. And a lot of the times when we create for long form, it's nice to be able to repurpose a couple of clips from that long form video. My idea with this is, the only problem with a lot of people is they record for long form and they don't know necessarily what the zoom would look like if they want to change it to short form, or what the video will look like. So they're, when they have to go and then cut it into a short form videos from their long form, they're way up here, and you see in this box how it's just my face, and it makes it really hard to make a good clip. Versus if I can now see this box, while I'm making my long form, I can stand a little bit further back, and now this looks like a more normal short form style video still. So that's really the idea here with dual. Those are your 3 recording modes. Then you'll have your camera here. This would be only useful if, say, you wanted to plug in a webcam into your laptop. So if you had like a one of those 4K webcams that you can plug right in, you could just tap on that right here. And then microphone, if you have an external microphone, as you can see my earbuds come up because those are plugged in right now. Or say I have like a DJI mic mini, so if I wanted to, I could use this little receiver, and I actually really recommend DJI microphones. These mini microphones are great. They're they're less than $100 online, and you can take them anywhere. And all you do is, in my laptop, I would plug this receiver into the USB-C, and then I would plug this into my onto me, the microphone itself, and then it would come up in our little microphone tab here, and I would be able to plug into that if I wanted to record a video with a little bit higher quality microphone. A lot of the time though, your iPhone mic or your laptop mic is going to sound just fine as long as you're in a quiet and good sounding, acoustically good sounding room. This is like an audio input thing, so it's supposed to be, you see how it went red there when I moved up and I was a little bit louder. It's supposed to be reactive, just so that typically the main things that I use it for, as you can see, it's a little bit tweaky. The main things that I'm using it for are like so that I know if the audio is not picking me up at all, and then I can adjust and say like, okay, my microphone's not working, or I can adjust if it's like redlining constantly and it's way too loud. This little button right here with the image in it, this is for our green screen or background image kind of thing. If you want to record, say you're talking about a study, or you want to have a different background than what you got, you could upload a background here, and I'm just going to go with one of the static colors like blue, and now you can see I have a blue background while I'm talking, so that it just gives me that customization A lot of times though, the better thing with this will be if you want to have like an image or something that you're describing in the background right there. You could also do picture in picture. So what this will do is basically put you in the corner. So it'll say bottom right, and then you'll see now I'm in the bottom right here, and I'm able to talk over something if I want to record like that. The next button here is use phone. I'm going to get to that in a second and show you exactly the phone recording process, but I want to go through a few of these here first. So right now you'll see top, bottom, and side. This is for our teleprompter. So if you want your teleprompter, which I just keep it on top personally, but if you say pull up a script here and you want it on the bottom or just over here on the side and nowhere on the screen, then you can have it right there. So just gives you that ability to customize. And then finally, you have your just the same stuff here, your font size, your teleprompter position, your microphone, your camera. So the next thing I want to get into is actually recording on your laptop itself. You have this ideas tab over here, and you can do a few different things. If you don't want to record with an idea and you just want to kind of talk and record your own thing and you got it in your head and you don't need like a script or talking points, you can just do that. You don't have to press on an idea necessarily to record. You don't have to have an idea. And what will happen is you'll just click whenever things look good for you, you'll just click this record button. And hi, my name is Ben. I am recording this video for our test. And you can see that I don't have any idea there. I don't have any kind of thing on screen. I'm just free recording. I'm going to record a second part. This is a quick video to show everyone how to use our recording studio. And say I didn't like that, I could do delete last here, I could press delete last here, or I can do delete button on my keyboard itself. So I'm going to do that, and now you see it was 9 seconds and now it went to 4 seconds, and there's only one section, which is the first section that we recorded. And so this just allows you to, rather than having to record say a 60-second video all at one time, you can now record a 60-second video but have say 10 different parts within that 60-second video and cut in between each, delete the last section, and make it really easy to not have to go back in editing and have to re-edit 50 different mistakes out of the video. You can press the space bar to resume and pause while you're recording, or you can just press this button right here, which is the recording button. And I use the space bar personally because it's like quick for me to just touch and you can't even tell I'm touching it. And in between each one, there will be like a 1 second countdown, so you have a little bit of time to reset. Once I do decide, say if I decided that, hey, this 4 second video is good for me, I just press finish and review. And now this video is here. And hi, my name is Ben. I am recording this video for our test. And you can see that video right there. If you don't name the clip, it'll just come up as free recording or something like that in your content library if you do push it. If you do want to name it, you can name it the clip right here. So, test video, and you see there's one section, 4 seconds, and it'll be 1 credit for a short form video. If I decided from here I want to push it to the library, it'll just push it for me and then send us back to the recording studio to keep recording. If I want to re-record it, then I can do that, and I can just re-record the whole video and wipe that last. Or I can keep recording on top of it, and you'll see that there's that 4 second section there. And now if I record again, this is the re-recording of the first video. Now there's 2 sections, and I can have both of those. So if I watch it back in that review stage and I want to add something, then I can do that quickly right there. So what will happen here is I'll name it test. I'll decide that I want to push it to my library, and then you'll see this little uploading, and this is just uploading it into our database. And now you'll see up here that you can see 1 video pushed, 1 pushed, and I'm back into the recording studio. The reason I did this is so that you're not having to record and then instantly be pushed to your editor. You can record a lot of different content at one time and stay in that flow of creating when you're creating and then editing when you're editing. See so many people where they're just, it's create, edit, and then they do that once a day. It takes 3 hours rather than being able, you could just create 5-10 pieces of content right here and then not have to worry about creating till next week, and just have that editing that you do later, and it keeps it very clean. Another thing that we should key in on here is just this bottom. You see it says 1080p. That's just our recording quality. You ideally just want to see 1080p there at all times. You do not really want to see, if it's 720, it's okay. A lot of social media content is shot in 720, but lower than that, I would say, check your camera. Maybe it's your laptop camera is not so great, or maybe there's a small issue with recording and you just need to reset your browser and refresh. But yeah, try to keep it at 1080 or 720. That was a free recording. And now if we decide that we want to record with an actual idea, what you'll see is now that script, because I have it on top here for the, for the teleprompter, I can see that script at the top of the screen itself, and I can actually read through it as I'm recording. So what you can do here is once you bring up a script, you'll see scroll speed and you'll see scroll mode. So I do auto fixed speed, and I do it very slow because I do not like when it starts zooming past my face. Now we have a script on screen. Rather than having to necessarily kind of think on the spot and record things, you can also have this opportunity to record. And when you do, this will look pretty much the same to when you're free recording, except for when we do go to record, you'll have that on screen. When you do record it though, nobody's going to see this script after, right? Like they're not going to see the script on screen. This is not, the script itself is not getting recorded. Just you're getting recorded and you can see the script. So I'll press record. The average content creator quits after 73 days. And it's not because they ran out of ideas. So you can see I just recorded that small section and I'm reading off the script, and then what I can do is I can scroll down. If I set it like I just set it to very slow, rather than having it scroll for me, I can scroll down as I go with my hand over here on my mouse or on your keyboard and just easily scroll with yourself as you're reading the script, making it easy to kind of stay with and maintain your spot while you're recording. What you can see here is there's the title for the clip that we did, and that's what, when you generate an idea, the title, all that is really just the title for the clip, so you can organize it later on and give you like an overarching idea of what the clip is about. And then if I do go to push this to our content library, you'll see that that title sticks with it, and I can edit that if I want to, but it's not really a thing that anyone public would see. It just allows you to keep your clips organized and your videos organized so that they don't they aren't all named the same thing or named free recording 1, free recording 2. I just wanted to keep it clean. And yeah, it's the same exact options as with the free recording. I can push it to my library, I can re-record, or I can keep recording. And if I did push it, it would just go to the content library, and whenever I decide to go edit, I'll be able to see it right there in my content library. And so just make sure when you hit this review page here, after you kind of decide to push a clip, that you do make you do decide to do something like push it to the library or re-record. Because if you decide that, right here, you're just going to press back over here, that clip will, disappear and you won't have it anymore. It isn't saved to the database though until you push it to the library itself. As you can see, after you press push to the library, there's that uploading thing and uploading to the database, uploading to cloud, and then we'll have it saved. But if you just kind of abandon it right here, there's not really much we can do for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the recording studio, and you can see if I do press that, you have unsaved sections, they will be discarded. I'm going to press discard and exit, and that is gone now. So that video would be gone, but we do have a nice thing in place that makes sure that that, hey, if you're leaving, it's not going to be there anymore. The next thing that I want to show you is just this record using your phone process and what that actually looks like on your end, so that you have a full understanding of that. So whenever I do want to record with my phone, I just press use phone. I'm going to screen record on my actual phone itself so that you guys have a good idea of what's going on with it. So this QR code is going to come up, and then all you do is unlock your phone and scan that. When you scan that, it'll take a second to load, and you'll have to press allow on your phone in order to allow it to, start recording. And then voila, you can start to see your phone recording from the laptop. And this laptop stream is going to show at a lower quality just because we have to, it's like a lot of videos feeds going from one to another. But as long as you see that 1080p on your phone here still, everything is fine. It's recording at that quality. It's not recording at this lower quality that you might see on your laptop itself. And so what you can do now is, say I wanted to set my phone up right here, and I would suggest, setting it up by your laptop if you're using a script itself, or getting a tripod might be helpful. You can find those on Amazon for pretty cheap. And I can still bring this script up onto my screen. It won't show on my phone screen because that will be very small sometimes for some people, but it'll still show up on my laptop screen so I can look off of that. And then what you can do is actually record, control the recording from your computer. There's also a record button on your phone, as you can see right there. And then the other buttons you'll see on your phone is that camera flipping thing, the camera flipping, so that if you want to record with your rear camera or your front camera, you can decide between those two. In the top left, you'll see Studio. It's connected via Wi-Fi, and you just want to make sure that that stays connected so that you know that it's all good. And then you'll see a microphone button down there. That microphone button is if you have an external mic connected to your phone, then you'll be able to switch over to that rather than using your phone's native microphone. I'm gonna just press record here, and now we're recording. You can see that I have on my phone, it says recording 6 seconds. On the laptop, it says recording 8 seconds. They're matched up, and then whenever I wanna pause, just like I would with the laptop recording, I just press the stop button. What happens when I press the stop button is you'll see a retake, and this is basically the phone's built-in delete last section, or you could do keep. And if you keep, you need to keep between each section on the phone just so that we can upload it to the database right then. But if you press retake, it'll delete that last section, and you'll be able to retake the video right there. Or if you press keep, what'll happen is you'll see it slowly start to upload, and you can see it uploading in the corner, and now it's uploaded. So you can see there's one section, 16 seconds. That's the first section. Now, if I wanted to record another section, it's just the same exact process. I tap record again, and here we are, we're recording, and we're building this second section now. I press stop, and I can either retake that section that I just recorded, or I can press keep, and then you'll see now there's 2 sections, 21 seconds, and I could just continue to do that process for as long as I want. Now, if I want to push this to the library, all I do is from my laptop, I just press push to library, and it'll say 2 sections, 21.7 seconds, will be sent to your content library. And now those are going to their library, and what'll happen is we'll go to that same review stage that we do with the laptop stuff, and we'll be able to, and now we're recording. Review them right there, go through the same exact process that we go to with our laptop recording. So if I decide to push that to the library, once again, we're just gonna get that, and now we're back and we can record a completely different section depending on what we wanna do. And that's basically the whole phone recording. If I wanted to switch, what we can do is I can flip my phone like this, and if I tap long form, there we go. The phone itself will flip, and now I can start to record wide angle, long form content using my phone. Make sure your phone lock is allowing you to flip between the two. The last thing that I can do if I want to disconnect my phone, go back to my laptop, there's a button right here that says disconnect phone. I tap on that, and look, we're right back to the laptop, the phone disconnected, and if I want to reconnect it, I just have to scan a new QR code. That's basically everything that I can think of in the recording studio in order to have a successful time recording. Hopefully this video helps. If you have any other questions at all, you can tap your there's a support button in the bottom right on most pages, and you can tap that and say talk to a human, or you can ask it any questions and it should be able to answer them. You can reference any of these videos, and also in your settings there is a place to book a call with me, and I'm happy to get on a call and talk to anyone at any time and help you through any issues, and make sure that using Create Social is something that's really useful and valuable for you. So thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good one.